Welcome back to The Hype. My name is HMK, and welcome to my channel. Anyways, we all know that Zelda Wii U is supposedly coming out this year, 2015. And now that it's finally the new year, 2015, we can expect a lot of information about this game and eventually its release. But what exactly can we expect from Zelda Wii U this year? Well, for a multitude of things, first and foremost, we can expect the subtitle. Finally, we get the subtitle revealed. That's one thing that everyone's been banking on because every Zelda game up until now, except for Zelda 2, well, you know, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, we've always had a subtitle, except for the first game, you know, but it was called Legend of Zelda, Hyrule Fantasy, whatever. We can expect a subtitle, and probably a cool subtitle that sometimes would hint at the entire game's focus or at one point of the game's focus. Because, you know, like Skyward Sword focuses on, you know, the Master Sword, Twilight Princess focuses on more of the Twilight Wars that's happening in Hyrule, but Midna as a catalyst. So we can expect a subtitle that will be, you know, directly imprinted onto the entire game of Zelda Wii U. And finally, we can stop calling it Zelda Wii U and we call it The Legend of Zelda blankety blankety blank. You know, something like that effect. Also, we can get a synopsis of the summary of how the game begins, you know, Link's origin in this tale, because in Ocarina of Time, Link came from the Kokiri Forest. He was raised as a Kokiri elf, a child that will never grow up. But in Twilight Princess, he was introduced as a ranch hand that lived in the village of Orden. And in Skyward Sword, he was an inspiring knight in the Knight Academy. So what will he be in this? I've had proposals and ideas and theories that he may be a charter, he may be a rogue, a treasure hunter, all of those things, but we don't know for sure. But maybe soon this year we'll have more of a glimpse of what he will be like and where he comes from in the beginning. Now, something that's always been important for the Zelda series is the combat, and we've had a small glimpse of that with the Game Awards footage. You know, we did actually see Link use his sword against enemies. The only combat we've seen against enemies is arrow combat, along with the bullet time motion, you know, the bullet time motion gameplay when you jump off your horse and everything slows down, and then you're able to hit him with strict precision of your bow and arrow shots. Now, I would like to see more gameplay with sword combat, you know, and show how it will set itself apart from the past Zelda games. Because in Twilight Princess, we had sword skills, sword techniques. In Wind Waker, we had parry attacks. In Skyward Sword, we had one-to-one motion when it comes to sword play. So I want to see how it will evolve in Zelda Wii U. I know we've seen some sword swipes off the horse, but we haven't seen any sword combat on foot. But luckily we do know the sword's coming back. But I like to see what we'll be introduced to when it comes to combat sword play and item inclusions with anything aside from the bow. Maybe a hook shot, bombs, beetle. All we do know is that a sword, a shield, quiver, bow and arrows, and the sailcloth. But we should have a glimpse at more features. And I swear to God, if they bring back a slingshot, no! God, no! Please, God, no! No! Now, Nintendo confirmed last year, at last year's E3 2014, that we'll have more of a glimpse of Zelda Wii U at E3 2015. With this in mind, I feel that Zelda Wii U must be the main Nintendo focus of E3. It should have all the focus, you know, Zelda leading the way, leading the path of Nintendo for 2015, and have a huge focus on the game. Same way how Nintendo had a huge focus on Super Smash Bros. Last year, I feel that Nintendo has to give that love to Zelda Wii U this year, because everyone knows that we are banking on this game so hard. We are so hyped for this, and Nintendo has to appease that hype this year at E3. You know, I'm actually thinking that they might put together a demo for E3, and that'll be awesome. And if we get a demo, maybe we'll have a demo area. Now, if you guys remember the awesome demo area that Nintendo had at E3 2005, way back when, for the Twilight Princess demo, that was banking. You had to go to this area with dark forest and projection of a pond and a Link mascot walking around, and then you go to the booths and you play the game. People had to wait for like 5 hours to play like 10 minutes of a demo, but if they had that kind of experience reimagined for Zelda Wii U, oh my goodness, that'll be the talk of the town. Can you believe that? HMK E3 this year? Maybe. With that being said, I predict and expect an explosion of new things for Zelda Wii U, including trailers, concept art, and artworks for Zelda a new enemy, the new enemy, because they usually have artworks or a glimpse of the enemy with Gearham for Skyward Sword, Yuga for A Link Between Worlds, so I feel they should have like new enemy art, and finally we get to see what Zelda looks like, and finally, please, Link's tunic, if he's getting one in this game. You know, I want art concept trailers so we can all play around with and theorize with. It'll be grand. Maybe an epic scope of the new world, which may be Hyrule, it's still not confirmed to be Hyrule, but a scope of the world in its entirety with Link looking off in the distance. Kind of like how they compared it to the Legend of Zelda art with Link looking off into the Red Mountains. Now, all of this sounds well and good, but something troubles me so hard. Like, you don't understand, guys. Nintendo has repeatedly stated that this game is going to come out 2015. And I want to believe them, but Nintendo is notorious and has a track record when it comes to the past Zelda games that came out on consoles. Let me refresh your memories. Twilight Princess was down to release in 2005. Delayed, release 2006. Skyward Sword was due to release in 2010. Delayed, got released 2011. So, I want to believe them that Zelda Wii U is coming out 2015, but it may get delayed and they may make that sour announcement at E3, and they may get delayed to 2016. And the reason why this is terrifying and plausible is because 2016, next year, is The Legend of Zelda's 30th anniversary. And Nintendo may bank on that with the release of this game. But at the same time, they may release this game this year and then do something completely awesome and spectacular next year. Zelda Wii U 30th Anniversary Edition. A Zelda Anthology game. 5 games in 1. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens with the Zelda 30th Anniversary, because Nintendo does not play around when it comes to the anniversaries of their most awesome series. The 25th anniversary of Zelda was so awesome. So we're going to have to see what the 30th anniversary will be like next. Now, with Nintendo rolling in their own way, with Nintendo Directs, they, are free to make information debuts whenever they want to. I feel that Nintendo Directs will happen around the time before E3 or after E3, and they'll introduce some new things about Zelda Wii U around that time. Maybe we'll have a Zelda Wii U centric Direct after E3 that'll focus a lot on the game, like story elements, items, how items work, probably synthesis, new gameplay mechanics, a release date, more concept art, more story elements. I already said that, but I feel that a Zelda Wii U Direct is going to happen this year, maybe more than one, two, three, or they'll do the Super Smash Bros. Way where they'll have Nintendo Direct spread out throughout 2015 and introduce new things about Zelda Wii U in each Direct. On the subject of a trailer, I expect an actual legit grand trailer, with actual elements like, pre-rendered cutscenes, gameplay mechanics, with awesome music in the background, and ending off with The Legend of Zelda, insert subtitle here. I expect a grand trailer like that. Earliest E3, because Nintendo is very secretive with their information. A lot of people are banking on GDC, but I want to say for sure E3 2015 is when we're going to get that big Zelda trailer with all the reveals in that trailer. And afterwards, if this game is truly coming out in 2015, then Nintendo will, spur out new trailers and more trailers every now and again up until the release of 2015 Zelda Wii U that year. Speaking of release date, I feel that E3 we're going to finally get a release window, or if they're feeling generous, an actual release date. For a date, I'm actually planning on holiday 2015. Either that or around November 2015, which is still technically holiday season. But Nintendo always likes to release main console Zelda games in November. So I am actually hoping for a Nintendo November release date season, and it's gonna be awesome. I really hope this is gonna happen. And one thing that's also gonna be played into the account that Nintendo likes to release games now these days is that Majora's Mask 3D wasn't announced until November last year, and they were on point and said this game's releasing spring of 2015, and it's releasing in February, which is, it's like 3 months from its announcement. So, and of course, Zelda Wii U was announced long ago, but with all this blowout reveal shit that we might get this year, I'm pretty sure if Nintendo is generous, they'll, oh yeah, The Legend of Zelda, subtitle it here, release in November, and then boop, 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 a few months from E3, and we finally get the game. But, we're gonna have to see. Now, another thing with releases is that with the success of the pre-order bonuses for recent Nintendo games, hello, Majora's Mask 3D, Wind Waker HD, Hyrule Warriors, and Japan, I'm pretty sure Nintendo's going to include some sort of pre-order incentive, even though they don't really need to for Zelda Wii U in order to maximize sales. And if they're feeling confident that this game is going to release this year, I expect after E3 or during E3, they'll open up pre-orders for Zelda Wii U with those big pre-order incentives like Zelda Hyrule Edition, Legend of Zelda Wii U Hyrule Edition, Legend of Zelda Wii U Hero Edition, or some shit like that. And if they're feeling confident enough, like I said, they'll release the game in 2015 and open up pre-orders that early so they can get as much bank as they can and learn how many units they're gonna have to get, or they can play cat and mouse and say, hey, we only have 100 units, go, or something like that. In short, 2015 seems to be the year of Nintendo. Star Fox U, Majora's Mask 3D, Splatoon, Mario Maker, the new Fire Emblem game. Nintendo is really going double down on 2015 with Zelda Wii U leading the way, and hopefully we'll get the game this year. But that's what I think we can expect from Zelda Wii U this year. If you're expecting something more or expecting something different from Zelda Wii U this year, please leave it in the comment section below. And while you're at it, if you like this video, don't forget to like and most importantly subscribe to keep the hype going. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Until the next Zelda-centric video, don't forget to share this with your Zelda fanatics. And until the next one, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.